Hello, welcome to Brilliance Speaker. On today's show, I've got the amazing Cora Cristobal. Cora is an international speaker, a best-selling author. She's also a real estate guru, and she's also a serial entrepreneur. Welcome to Brilliance Speaker, Cora. Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you very much, Mark, for inviting me for this interview. It's a pleasure to be with you. And hello to all the people in UK and the people all over the world.
Thank you for your time today. So let's get stuck into the interview. My first question for you today, Cora, is can you share your story into being a professional international speaker?
For sure. Thank you very much for asking. Mark, I was a certified accountant back from my country, the Philippines, and never in my thought that I'm going to be a professional speaker. I would rather die than be on stage. You know that saying? Majority of the people wouldn't like to be on stage. I'd rather be in the coffin. But see, what happened to me is 15 years ago, I migrated to Canada with my 4 children and my husband. And it didn't turn out very well in the beginning. It didn't turn out very well because my second daughter, 15 years old at the time, I started having problems with her. And end of the story is my husband sort of like surrendered on this problem and went back to the Philippines. So I was left with 4 children. They were teenagers, four, 2 daughters and 2 sons. And you can imagine how difficult it was for me to start a new life in a new country, much less to be with 4 children by myself, right? And I recall I only had $35,000 a year gross income, and I had my house. I need to pay my mortgage and pay all the bills, and it was a real challenge. And for me, that was a chapter that became a turning point for me to switch into a new career that became a professional speaking, because I reflected and I said I needed to do something about my life. What is it that I needed to do now that I was a single mom in a new country with that kind of income? So I took a license in real estate and I became a real estate investor. I was also already a real estate broker and a real estate investor. So I thought I would go back to real estate in order to augment my income. And I really, really have a passion for real estate. So that's what. And in 2015, late 2000, I hired a mentor to be a professional speaker. And he has a club. And in late 2015, he invited me to speak at his club, which for a year I kept turning him down because I said, speaking is not for me. I am shy. I don't want to speak. I don't want to tell my story. It's very embarrassing, and I don't have the skills to be a speaker. But after a year, I gave in and I said, okay, I'll see. And then I spoke for 20 or 30 minutes, and people said that, oh my goodness, Cora, you were so amazing. We didn't know about your story. It's very inspiring. We admire you of what you have done, what you have become. You became an author and all that, right? So that was the beginning. And after that, I got an opportunity to be sharing stages already with the big boys like Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and Robert Allen, and I started to enjoy it. So that was my story. It was never planned. It was not my original intention. I don't know if it was meant to be, but this is a that I developed, and I discovered, and I'm enjoying it. Like, speak. If I did not speak, I wouldn't have known you and the other people back in UK, right? Places I have never been, people I have never met.
stood out to me is how you have faced adversity, but you've really turned that adversity and shown that you're a strong woman, and you've really turned that adversity into a real positive. So you really are a true example of strong woman, Cora, and that's what I really.
Thank you. Yes, I became a stronger woman after that.
Next question for you, Cora, is you set up the Toronto Women's Club and it's super successful. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So as I went through those tough challenges, I went to deep meditation and prayers and reading and walking in nature. So, and then I started to think, what is happening to other women? I'm very sure I'm not the only one in this, could be in this situation and vulnerable to any challenging situation. And my mentor inspired me to put up Toronto Women's Club in order to bring all women to help them grow and help them to go through their challenges in life. Is there something that is preventing them from doing what they want, to become more successful, to become happier? So that is how Toronto Women's Club was born. So I founded it in December of 2016 and launched the club in February of 2017. And we do quarterly live events. So every quarter I will have an event, a whole day event that I do in a hotel, and I invite speakers who will talk about the theme. Like, for example, every meeting has a theme. For example, how to develop a good mindset, or how you can overcome fears and limiting beliefs, or how how can you get out of your comfort zone, or how can you learn something. So all those kind of stuff. And then I also invite vendors in order to showcase their products and services. So Toronto Women's Club became a hub, or a place where women and even men come to my event, where we learn and network and exchange ideas, and a lot of interaction is happening to form some sort of camaraderie and support in order to inspire, educate, and empower women as well as men.
Well, you did touch on meditation, health and well-being, taking walks. These are so important when you're trying to move forwards in life. It's so important to have a healthy mind, a healthy body. I'm really big on meditation. And what I like about the sound of your Toronto Women's Club is you are actually giving people great skills to go home with. Mindset so important, and just having all those basic skills to move forwards and having like-minded people to do it with. So I really like the sound of Toronto Women's Club, and I know you hold some awesome events with some amazing speakers. So I hope to come over to Toronto at some point with you, Cora.
You are most welcome. The next event is coming soon on September 15. September 15 will be the third quarter, and the fourth quarter event is going to be on December 8th.
December sounds good to me. Please give Cora some heart. She's sharing all her wisdom with us today. If you want to ask Cora any questions, please type them below and feel free to share the broadcast as well. That brings me to my next question, Cora. At times, speaking can be a hard industry. Can you share some tips for speaking success?
Yes, first of all, I would advise that before you speak, you sort of like build your brand and credibility first. Because you are, who is going to be interested to invite you to speak, or how are you going to get into the stages? That is the first question. How are you going into the stages? And it would be easier to get into the stages if you have a brand and credibility. And how are you going to get the brand and credibility? in my case, I wrote a book. So, as you know, when I spoke in Birmingham, I said that I wrote 3 books. I launched, published 3 books in 1 year. Well, you don't have to write 3 books in 1 year. You can start with one and then go on with the next one. Because when you have a book, you are perceived and seen to be an authority in that field where you wrote, right? So in my case, I wrote a book about the 12 habits. So the title of my book is Journey to a New You, the 12 Habits to a Happy and Successful Life. So I was telling people what are the habits that made me become successful in my own way, and how did I become founder of Toronto Women's Club, and how did I overcome those obstacles. So this is a good way of sharing your story and sharing the lessons that you learned that other people may benefit. So when people hear that you are an author, they will say, oh my God, you are an author, because it's not easy to write a book, right? So it becomes easier to go on stage if you have a brand and credibility, which is about the book. So now any skill is learnable. As Brian Tracy said, uh, are speakers born or are speakers created? Well, some people may be, I don't know if they are born already like a speaker. Maybe if their parents were a speaker, or if you are the son of a president or a popular person who is a speaker, maybe you inherited the genes. But in most cases, like in my case, nobody in the family is a speaker. And for majority, any skill can be learned. So you can watch those good speakers on YouTube, right? Watch those speakers on YouTube, like do you admire Abraham Lincoln, or do you admire Obama, or do you admire those good speakers, right? Or Tony Robbins, or Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy. They learn that skill through the years, and you look at those people who have become already very successful speakers, and you can always watch them on YouTube, right? And for me, another thing that I can advise is you speak on a subject that is very dear to your heart, because a topic that is very dear to your heart, you are very genuine and you are very sincere, and you do not have to there is no faking, right? When I tell my story and when I speak, it is only coming from my heart, and it is because I know the topic from my heart, because this is coming from my own experience, and I'm only sharing the story to give them a lesson. So these are just a few tips on how you can become a good speaker. So tell a story from your heart. And I watch people in YouTube, and I also read books on how to speak, to develop your speaking ability, like reading the book by Dale Carnegie, or by Brian Tracy, or whoever you idolize as a good speaker. And you don't necessarily have to copy them, because every speaker has a style, and you as an individual can come up with your own style. Like you when I heard you speak, you also have your style. You are very natural, and you are very genuine, and some people and the way you move your hands, and the way you deliver the message. It is a matter of style, right? It is a matter of individual style. And as long as you are communicating and sending the message, then you become a very good speaker. You become a good communicator and speaker.
Some great tips there, Cora. So building your brand, building your credibility, write a book, talk from the heart, watch your idols, learn from your idols, and be genuine. That's what I'm taking from that. And I'm all about being real too. And I do feel like when you're real, that really shows on stage and people warm to you. So great points. And also, I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People, but I listened to the audio CD. because it's quite a hefty book, that is. So I found the audio CD better for me, but it's a very good book, that is. So I do know what you're talking about there, Cora. Please show Cora some love, give us some heart, share the broadcast. If you want to ask Cora any questions, please go ahead. So, Cora, you've got an amazing event coming up next year with Jack Canfield. It's in Toronto. Everyone's
Yes.
talking about it. It's a huge event. Please, can you share what's it all about? Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I am so blessed to have the opportunity to produce an event with the Jack Canfield, and everybody knows and love Jack Canfield. And for those people who do not know Jack Canfield, if I may just tell people a little bit about Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield is the co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul, with over 250 titles. So chicken soup for the parents' soul or chicken soup for the children's soul. So it is a chicken soup series and they come in 250 titles. And chicken soup has sold more than 500 million copies, right? So this is really very phenomenal, the chicken soup for the soul. And also, he is one of the stars of The Secret. If you have read and seen the movie The Secret, along with the other celebrities, Dr. John Gray, Lisa Nichols, and all those uh, celebrities. And he is also the author of the Success Principles, and he is also the creator of the Train the Trainer certificate coaching certification program. So I feel so very blessed to be able to bring Jack Canfield. Of course, this is not my own production. I am co-producing it with my mentor, and it is happening on April 6th of 2019. So we still have 8 months or 9 months to go. And I want to take this opportunity to invite everybody. You may want to come to Toronto because it is Jack Canfield, and it is not. It is a rare opportunity to have Jack Canfield, and to listen to him could probably change your life, because being with a man like Jack Canfield and listening to him live in person, and you will have a chance to shake hands with him and probably have a picture taken with him and listen to him, is really, really a great opportunity. So that is happening on April 6th of 2019. It's a whole day event. It happens from 8 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening. And he is going to be joined by 7 other speakers, and that includes me. And there are other speakers, and we are also adding an expert panel. It is an interview of an expert panel for 1 hour, where Jack Canfield is the lead expert, along with the other 9 expert panels, and the audience will have a chance to ask any questions that can be answered by anybody. So that is what is happening next year with Jack Canfield.
Well, I think people should definitely get to that event. I know it's going to be amazing. The Secret was one of the first positive books that I ever read that started to make me move forwards in life. And I know how successful Chicken Soul for the Soup is. So feel free to drop any links in the comments, Cora, to the event, and you're free to tag them on my personal timeline too. So you wrote 3 books in a year. Now, it took me a year to write 1 book, Cora. So to write 3 books in a year is a big achievement. Now, your newest book is The Secret to Wealth, and that's with Brian Tracy. Can you share a little bit about that, please?
Yes, I co-authored a book with Brian Tracy, and this is an anthology of books. Brian Tracy is the lead author. I'm sorry. And we launched it last August 2nd, and it became #1 bestseller in Amazon. #1 bestseller in Amazon in 3 categories. One is in real estate category. The second is accounting and finance. and industries and profession. So we are #1 bestseller in all those categories. So I'm so
Well
happy
done.
and very, very say that.
And just tell us a little bit about the book, Cora, in case people want to get their hands on it. What does the book cover?
Yes, may I show you?
You may.
So right now, what we are selling in Amazon is just in Kindle form, because this one is still in being printed, and it's a hardbound copy. And this is the book, right? This is just a sample of the book, and here I am with Brian Tracy, and this is now available in Kindle form, and it will be available in hard physical copy that you can order in Amazon in probably 4 to 6 weeks from now. So I will always update you through social media when this is already available in Amazon. But right now, you can already buy it in Kindle form.
Brilliant. So it's called The Secret to Wealth. If anyone wants to get their hands on it, just type it in the search bar of Amazon and that will come up. So my next question, Cora, is what's new for Cora? What are you working on right now?
Yes, I'm going to be speaking on September 21 to the 22nd in Dallas, Texas, with Robert Allen. And Robert Allen is a nothing down guru. So meaning to say you can buy real estate nothing down. So that's happening on September 21 to 22nd. On September 15, I'm going to have my live event for the Toronto Women's Club for the third quarter event. And on December 8th is the last quarter event for Toronto Women's Club, December 8th. On December 9, we are going to have a mastermind with Robert Allen in Toronto, December 9. And what else do I have? Oh, I'm going to launch another book in November. The title of my next book is the Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich. So
I'm just thinking, Cora, you should write a book about time management as well, because you seem to fit so much in with all this writing, events, speaking across the world. So I think time management too.
Yes, I'm going to talk about time management in my event on September 15 at my event. But this is not a bad idea to write a book about time management. And actually, I finished a book by Brian Tracy, The Power of Self-Discipline, which includes time management. So you are right, time management is very, very important. The more you are effective in your time management, the more accomplishments and the more that you can the more things that you can complete, right? So what else is happening to me? Um, so the Science of Getting Rich. I have another book coming up, which is just a chapter, the Handbook to Holistic Health. And I am contributing a chapter. My chapter title is How to Overcome Midlife Crisis. Okay? And it's going to be launched on October 27. And there is an annual conference of the health and wellness professionals here in Toronto. And I'm going to share stage with the daughter of Les Brown, and Ona Brown, and James McNeil. And in this conference, I will be speaking as well as launching the book called The Handbook to Holistic Health. Um, I also co-authored a book with James Malinchak. James Malinchak is a speaker based in Las Vegas, and I met him when I attended a conference in Vancouver here in Canada. And the title of the book is Reach Your Greatness. Reach Your Greatness. And I am contributing a chapter entitled How to Attract Wealth and Abundance Despite Any Situation in Life. What else? I am supposed to attend the Women Economic Forum in South Africa, right? Uh, in August 26 to the 29th. but it was just canceled. So I don't know if I will proceed with my trip because I already bought my ticket. But being present in some of the Women Economic Forum events is also in my bucket list. So, and of course, we are already preparing for the Jack Canfield event, like um, what you call it, signing up the contracts for the hotel and completing the lineup of speakers and getting all those ABs and photographers and all that. So this is a big event. So it is included in my activities, and altogether, like speaking and book writing and holding events, as well as I also mentor people and I also help people, yeah, invest or sell the real estate, because I am also a realtor. I have a license in real estate, and I also help people buy or sell real estate. So these are all the things that I do. Quite busy.
I was just going to say, you're working on lots of things and you've got so much to keep you busy. That could keep you busy for the next 2 or 3 years, but I'm sure it won't, Cora. So I've really, really enjoyed interviewing you today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for giving me your time, because time's precious. My last question for you today, Cora, is how can people follow you? How can people connect with you? How can people search for you?
Yes, thank you very much for asking that. And I would like to continue connecting with the listeners. And first of all, I would like to thank you and all the listeners. And as my gift to you, I would like to give a copy of any of my book. The book is free, but you only have to pay for the shipping by contacting me in my email address, Cora at torontowomensclub.com. So Cora is Cora at Toronto, TORONTOWOMENS Women's Club CLUB. So it's one word. It's kind of long, right? Cora at torontowomensclub.com. So connect me through my email address, and you can ask me any questions, or you may want to continue a conversation by any means, Zoom or Skype or Messenger video, or just simply ask a question or ask me a copy of the book. And you can also check me on my website, torontowomensclub.com.
Thank you. I'll definitely be emailing you. I would like the new copy of the latest one with Brian Tracy. And we've got someone saying, what a great interview. I'm sorry I can't see who the names are. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please show Cora some hearts to say bye. Share the broadcast. And Cora, thank you so much for being on Brilliant Speaker, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. I will see you soon for sure. Thank you, Mark.
Take care, Cora. Bye.